'Cause I'm yours to keep if you want to.
Okay, we are rolling. Thank you for coming in to do this with me.
Yay. Thank you for having me.
So what is your full name?
My full name is Rowlene Nicole Bosman. It is literally my initials are R&B. Crazy. Yeah.
So you were born for it.
I really think my parents thought about this, to be honest.
Were you named after anybody?
No. They actually named me like I was born at like 8. They only named because they needed to send in the birth certificate.
Mhm.
It was only like the following day because they couldn't decide whether it was going to be Nicole, Rowlene, or Rowlene Nicole.
Okay.
My dad wanted Nicole, my mom wanted Rowlene, but obviously my mom won.
Yeah.
As usual.
As it should be. Where were you born?
I was born in Elsiestraw, Cape Town, in South Africa.
Cool.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up there?
It was really cool. I lived with my siblings and also my cousins. So
Okay.
like we had like this really cool family set up because it was my grandparents, my cousins, and like after school we'd always like come back and like it was a very supportive like household.
Cool.
So it was even school like everything was it was always just everyone around me like it was weird at first, but because I was very timid, I was to myself all the time. Like I'd always just be giggling and smiling. I was super friendly, but I was always an observer and a listener opposed to like everything else. But I
Cool.
grew into like everything else.
Awesome. So you have siblings. What's the makeup of your siblings? Older, younger? Where are you?
Both.
Okay.
Two brothers, an
Right.
older brother and a younger brother.
You
We're
close with
like
them?
7-7. Yes, I'm very close with my younger brother. My older brother, not so much, but my younger brother, yes, like he's my homie.
Awesome. What about your parents?
Yeah, very close.
Nice.
Closer to my dad than I am to my mom.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. It's always been like that because my dad kind of introduced me to music, so I feel like
There's
I've
a-
always had that connection.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do they do?
My mom's a store manager,
Cool.
and my dad is too old to be working.
What did he do?
He was also a store manager.
Okay.
But he makes stuff now.
Cool.
He's like really good with his hands. Like he can literally put anything together.
Okay.
So when I break something, whether it's my laptop, whether it's my interface, like he fixes it immediately. It's crazy.
No way.
Whether I break my phone, like if I need someone to come and build a cupboard.
It's a good
Like,
person to have around.
I trust me.
Yeah.
I know set designs and stuff.
Oh,
Cool
sick.
dad. Yeah,
That's great.
very very hands on.
Super cool.
I wish I had that though, but I
Yeah.
I make music. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what were you into like when you were little? What was it like growing up in South Africa?
It was really cool. I only had one friend because my parents were really overprotective. But again, I had family around me all the time, so
Okay.
I didn't really feel like I needed to overextend myself in that department.
Sure.
But it was really nice. I had a really cool like setup in terms of sport. I wasn't always the girly girl, so like when we were outside, we'd play soccer or like rugby, football. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
We would do that like outside in the road, and we would sketch and we'd do artsy things together, or we'd write music back then, like just go
Crazy.
outside into the backyard and sing to the sky and like sign our names all over the house, and our parents would go completely crazy. It's like, what are you doing? We're just like, we're practicing our autographs. So it was always something that I knew that like I was gonna do, but not like completely understood, you know, like it was always just like a myth in my head, like how do people even do that? But when my cousins and we'd have these little performances. The karaoke was a big thing for my family, and like we'd be the Destiny's Child, and I was never Beyonce. Like I was never Beyonce. I was either Michelle. I was always Michelle. I was not even Kelly. I didn't even make it. So like it was fun. Like we'd make up these dance routines, and we'd be performing to our family, and they'd be hyping us up. So it was always like a cool. It wasn't always like great because female cousins you're always fighting,
Sure.
but I'm still super close to them. Like they're still my go-tos. Like oh my gosh, like because they're older, so it's like oh my god, how do I deal with this situation? But it's hard because we're not in the same spheres in life. You know what I mean? Like everyone's doing different things now, and I'm in an industry that no one in my family understands. So it's just like, yeah, well that doesn't really sound like a problem. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, how do I explain that
Yeah.
now? And then I'm like, oh, it's too late. It's fine. I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it sounds like, I mean, you just basically grew up with music just being around from day
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it was just like my dad used to be a DJ, uh, way before my time. So we have all these LPs and like we have all these CDs like just littered in the house, like it's everywhere. But it's one of my prized possessions now. Like no one can touch it. Like I'm just like no. And they're like, oh no, don't. That's my favorite one. Like you said that about this, and I'm like, just don't touch anything.
Yeah.
Actually,
I
'Cause
can
it's just
completely
like,
relate.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. 100% do. Like literally everything I have in here and in the studio, I feel that way about.
Yeah, completely a hoarder.
Yeah.
Like, if someone gives me a rock, I keep it. I'm just like, that was
Let
the
me see if
sweetest
I have any
thing.
rocks around here. I feel like I literally have
The
that
thought
same
that
complex.
counts.
Yeah.
Literally the thought that counts.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I was just traveling and over the summer, and a friend of mine, just literally like this guy I met in Iceland. We sat down at a restaurant together, like at the bar, like it was like a nice restaurant that only had like bar seating available for the people that walked in. And I just got a card this morning that he just like walking around sent me this card that's like, hey, it's a cat playing piano, and I thought about you and just wanted to send you something to brighten up your day. And I was just like, man, hey, that's like I was like, man, fuck, like you're amazing. That's so cool. And so sweet. And I'm like, how do I like frame that? Like as a hoarder, like my first thought is like, this person did this sweet thing for me. I'm trying to preserve it forever.
Exactly. Like once my 18th birthday, my best friend got me 18 gifts, but it wasn't like crazy shit. Like it was just like things that reminded me of her. So she got me hot sauce. She got me noodles. She got like everything had an explanation. Though she's like, because you. And I'm just like, nah, I can't eat this noodles.
Yeah.
Because you gave it to me, and now it just has to stay in this box. So it's like, what is the logic? Well, I don't know. But
Yeah,
it's
just
fine.
sentimental. Yeah.
Exactly. Like someone got me a packet of noodles and thought about it. They're like, this is her favorite noodles. So.
I love that. So your dad was DJing. Was it any particular genre? Was it multiple genre? Like what was the?
It was multiple genre.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it was like a lot of blues, like R&B, old stuff. But
Cool.
yeah.
So you grew up with basically like him being a DJ. Did you go to gigs and stuff? Were you able to go with
No,
him or?
Definitely not.
Okay.
No, I've never.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I was too young.
But at least you had him playing music in the house. Does your mom play music in the house too?
No, my mom. No. I was trying to even think of like how to just no. Yeah, no. But my dad, once he had like slowed down, he had then got married. They had me like after he had that phase, so it wasn't even like I got to experience that part of his life or his journey.
Sure.
It's just something that like we have pictures and you'd like show me and like,
Cool.
this is what I used to do. And like now when I do things and I didn't even know that and I keep forgetting about that whole like that was a big moment for him in his life. And I'm just like, nah, no one in my family really did music. He's like, no, do not lie.
Yeah.
I used to be a DJ and I had an afro. So I'm just like, oh, okay, sorry. That really big part of information now needs to be shared in all my interviews because they listen.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So basically like any form of arts were happening throughout your house and to your house. It sounds like you're signing autographs on the wall already.
Yeah.
It was
Singing
just
to the sky about random things. And we had this big yard with birds and stuff, so like we would just be writing. My grandfather had birds, like a lot of birds.
cool. Like captive, like they actually were birds. Like he.
Yeah, he'd let them go and they'd come back. It's the craziest thing. I never understood that. But then, like, he died.
Oh.
And we had to let them go. We were just like, there's no way we're looking after this. It's too many of them. There is no way we're doing that. So, yeah. But, like, that was a cool concept to just, like, feel like that was the audience to me. So I'd be performing to them.
Yeah.
I know at, like, 5 o'clock they'd go off and come. So it's like it was literally scheduled every day. So to this day, I still don't understand how birds work. But, I mean, that was a thing and they were my audience.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
yeah.
So what was like the neighborhood or the environment you grew up in? Was it like kind of suburbs? Was it city? What was like the general?
It was the hood, man.
Okay.
Shit. It wasn't the safest. It wasn't the safest area. But I had an older brother that was extremely overprotective, so like everyone knew that, like, you know. But it wasn't very safe. But it wasn't also like the most dangerous. It was dangerous, but not like extremely dangerous because I feel like I knew how to navigate myself at the same time. So it's like, how do I not get robbed today? Type of situation. I did get robbed twice though, but that was in primary school. I was walking home from school. And
Wow.
I I got robbed. Yeah.
For what? Your
My
pencils
cell
and your
phone
okay.
was in my pocket, and they saw it, and I was about to fight them. I was ready, and then my friend was just like, "No," and I'm like, "Well, it's mine." And next thing, I just gave it because I didn't want to die. So.
Yeah. Wow, that's wild.
But the scariest thing wasn't even that. Was getting home and explaining the situation to my parents. Because
Yeah.
they would just be like, "Wait, so you had your phone at school?" I'm just like,
You missed the
shit,
point.
How do I tell him that So I had to literally practice my whole speech. Like I was traumatized and practicing a speech. Just like, damn. And I went to my older brother and I was just like, look, so this happened. What do I do? He's like, look, I just think you should stay in your grandma's room for this just today.
Yeah.
And figure it out. And we figured it out. We tried to get a new phone, but they figured it out. They figured it out. It was gone. And then eventually they were like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. But it was literally a week after I watched Titanic and I was really sad. So
Titanic will get you.
I know. And I'm just like, no one loves me. I'm the boat.
That's great. I'm the boat.
No, really, I was thinking it was done. That was the iceberg who was losing my phone.
Oh shit. So what were you into when you were like in primary school? What kind of things, like, sounds like sports and stuff? Were you actually following like sports like professionally, like
No,
rugby teams and soccer
I
team,
watched
football
track and
teams?
field every day.
No way. Okay, cool.
That was it. That was the most exciting part, getting home and knowing that 5 o'clock. But in primary school we did ice Statfords, and that was a very weird concept. Also, like I didn't understand what it was, but it was an activity that we had to do. So it's just like where they teach you these routines and you follow it, and then you get prizes for it.
Okay.
But we did like the dancing with like ribbons and like making stuff with the ribbons. So like there's a bunch of kids like just dancing with ribbons, and at the end you have a bow or you have something
Okay.
weird and creative.
Sure.
Now I look back at it, I'm like, damn, they actually put a lot of time into that and it makes sense because it looked cool. But now I'm appreciating it more, thinking about it, because it's just like, damn, like they really thought about that.
Yeah.
I sang in the choir. I played piano for 2 years. Still kind of suck at it. I tried. What else did I do in primary school? That was kind of it. Like I just did a lot of things at school because that's one thing we had to do
Yeah.
religiously. Actually,
Sure.
It's Monday to Friday, and then weekends you're doing homework, and then Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
So it was literally that. I didn't really do much, play much sport in primary school because I was really small.
Okay.
I'm still tiny, but
Back
can you
then.
imagine a 5-year-old me? But I didn't, like in grade 1, I was telling my friends the story the other day that where in grade 1, like I really enjoyed reading, and my teacher literally ripped up my book, and my mom literally removed me from the school, and I didn't do the first grade. I just went straight to the second grade. And
Crazy.
It was the weirdest thing. And I had to go to a school where my cousins were because that was the only thing they felt was necessary, because I was so timid and to myself. They were like, look, you're not even trying to make friends. So we're going to have to do this for you. You're going to have to go to that school. And I didn't want to because it was so far from home. And I had to walk from there every day.
Oh shit.
So like I thought about all of that already. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to have to walk for like 40 minutes every day. There's no way.
Did you eventually settle in and start to like that new school?
I did, but then like this crazy thing happened like 2 weeks after me being at this school. I actually made a friend, and then the most tragic thing happened to her where we used to on Fridays we'd take this bus back home, the school bus, and we were standing at the door because the bus was too full, and she fell out of the, like I almost fell out, but like I was holding on to something, and she like literally flew, and she was unconscious and in a coma for like 3 months.
Holy shit.
And that was my only friend. I
Oh
just
my God.
made this friend. And I was just like, damn, school's not for me. I'd already decided in the second grade that it was, no, there's no way that this is for me. I tried, and it just didn't work out.
So you stay in school,
Yeah.
and like what kind of stuff do you progressively get into as you're studying, like subject wise?
I enjoyed biology. But
Okay.
That was literally it. I I'm not gonna lie, school is not my top two
Yeah.
at all. The best part was getting to interact with other people that were creative or
Cool.
like trying to like navigate themselves in a creative sense, or whether it was singing, dancing, writing, whatever it was. We didn't really have like art programs at our school, so um, there was this external program that kind of integrated with high schools that was called High School Jam. And with that whole organization was where all these high schools in South Africa would apply to like they'll send in a production, and then the team would go through it and rate it, and then through this whole procedure, and like you literally have to audition and go through this whole like it's a long thing like you do from Jan to like March, and then we'd get selected every year because even when we didn't have an arts program, we still had a lot of talent.
Cool.
So we'd get to compete against 10 other schools, and it would be like for a large sum of money and some equipment for your school,
Nice.
which is really, really cool. And with that, we then integrated into a space where we felt like, okay, every day after school, we're going to start rehearsing because we know next year, like,
Yeah.
we're going to do this again and again and again. So that was the one thing that excited me about school, is knowing that every year in July we have this high school jam and we get to like sing and put together this incredible show. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I've never been a part of something that's that like everyone knows their place, but it's like everyone's just nice. Like it was just like a place where everybody was somebody. You know?
Yeah.
Like, and we all were at the same school, but like during school time, it's not like we weren't friends.
Yeah.
But after school, we'd all, regardless of the grade you were in, like everyone was just like this
That's cool.
tight knit, like this family, you know. And with that, like I met this lady that ran this whole organization, which was called Inspired Stages, and she then started these workshops where she would have kids from the school, like top 10, or like that's trying to like push or like trying to make it into the industry. You know, it's not like she had any knowledge, but like she'd try and get people from the industry in and like speak to us.
Cool.
And that kind of put me in a space where I felt like I was less timid. I could now speak up a little bit more. I was a little more confident because they pushed you in the spaces of, they'd ask you what your favorite things are, like listing it, like from your favorite to the least favorite, and like in the art space. And then on the day, they would swap it around completely. So you'd start from your least favorite and focus on those things that you're really bad at.
Yeah.
And they push you in that regard. So like, I don't like dancing. Now I'm just like, I don't care. I'm just, you know? So
I love
like,
that. That's such a great
so
idea.
It was such a weird thing for me because I always felt like, damn, like why this is a trap.
Yeah.
But with time, like you learn to appreciate those kind of things because there's not a lot of people that's willing to push you because they see the potential.
Yeah.
And they have nothing to gain from it. So like having those kind of people around me, and that was during my high school phase, like not even knowing that this is what I wanted to do. Music was a thing that I was like passionate about. It was just this, literally when I would speak about it, I'd light up and my parents would be like, how was school? And I wouldn't speak about anything but that. Like every day, like, oh my gosh, we learned this new song. This is the routine. And I'd like, you know, do it for my little brother. And they'd laugh at me until like high school jam comes. And they're just like, okay, it's that time of the year. And like the whole school goes, like all the families are there. And it's just a great experience because it's like, picture this big like sports day, or I don't even know how to explain it. Like this really big sports game that's happening, but it's 10 schools, and it's just like camaraderie the whole time. So,
Sounds
but
awesome.
It's like it's crazy. Like it was really, really, really fun.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and that kind of really just was the whole trajectory for me.
Yeah, cool. So from that, like, we can backtrack a little bit, and I'm sure we'll catch back into this. But what was your first job?
My first job. Damn, I had so many. I worked as a salesperson. Selling, like I was a promo girl. For this, I don't even know what the place was called anymore. But they would tell you like on the Thursday what you were gonna do. So you'd work for 3 hours, and they'll tell you what you're promoting. So it was different things, like if it was perfume, but it would be in the mall, like.
Okay.
But that was just to practice to speak to people, because I never thought I needed to do that, and now I need to sell a product for money.
Yeah.
Because that's my job.
Yeah.
My second job was stage managing fashion shows.
Cool.
The same lady that inspired, she actually hired me. I was her intern for a bit. We put together events and stuff. this one new mall opened. We literally did the whole like setting up the clothing and all of that stuff. What else did I do? I did a lot of production work, managing productions, stage productions. I worked for an event company uh, called Sun International. What else did I do? Man, I managed this group called Utopia that was under Sun International. I had to make sure they had gigs, they got there on time. I had to do all of that stuff.
What age were you when you were?
16.
Okay, so wow.
I did all of that.
Sick.
Yeah, I matriculated when I was 17. I studied for 2 years. I dropped out and studied another year. Dropped out and moved to Johannesburg. So it's like it was very. If I don't like something,
Move on.
I just move on.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm wasting time like in a space that I don't feel happy or some form of contentment. Like I was an overachiever my whole life, and academically, if I was not getting straight A's, there's no way I'm dropping out of school.
Yeah.
So, so like when I eventually graduated and went to university, I studied dentistry for 2 years, and then yeah, that was when I isolated myself even more because it was so hard navigating that whole space of all these kids are like super smart and they have a social life. That was crazy to me. I'm like, how do you do both? How do you balance that? And
Yeah.
to me, it was just like school, more school, more school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, like how is everyone living around me and I'm just the only one that's not living? I can't do this. And even after that, I wanted a job more than anything else. Like I really wanted to just continue doing the eventing space because I was excited about it and I wanted to learn more. And the people around me were just always happy at work. I didn't want to be the person that like came home and I was like depressed every day.
Yeah.
So like being around people that was super positive and not like the how can I say, like the negative positivity where you're like always just trying to be this positive person. Like
Yeah, like it wasn't fake positive.
Yeah, you know
like,
what I mean? Like
yeah.
it was like genuine. Like
Mhm.
when I fucked up with something, they'd call me out and be like, "Look, we really believe in you, but that was whack. Do better."
Yeah.
So even that, like, it taught me how to take no for an answer, but also like evaluate it and not just like leave it there.
Yeah.
So it would be like, so you're saying no. Let me see how I can maneuver this one
Yeah.
to turn it into a maybe.
Yeah.
Or yes. So at least that like helped me understand that you really there's different ways of posing a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Super cool. Did you travel a lot when you were growing up?
No, my
Okay.
first time leaving. This is my first time here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like I did a lot of Africa.
Okay.
But that was like pre-pandemic.
Okay.
So I did this tour with a label that I was signed to. We did this thing called the Iverson Tour, which was a part of something that we started back home, and we got to do like a lot of cool places. We went to Tanzania, Kenya, Ghana, Uganda, Nigeria, like Zimbabwe, like a lot of places. We got to go to almost every African country.
Cool. Are you flying or taking bus or driving
We're
or?
flying. We're
Cool.
flying to all of these places.
Nice.
And then I went to London the beginning of this year. That was also my first cross the border trip, and that was an extremely weird experience for me because it was my first time doing something by myself.
Cool.
Because usually, like, I have a team around me, or I had friends that were always like willing to do stuff, and this was just like a big leap that I wanted to take because I wanted to experience something new in a new country, eating different food,
Yeah.
breathing different air, writing different music, being inspired by different encounters.
Yeah.
Because all my music and everything that I do is so in the moment, like something I'm experiencing right now. Like I'd be like, oh my gosh, let me just type that.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant lyric. But it was something that just happened, or something I just said. And I'm
Sure.
like, bar. Like, you know what I mean? Like mid conversation. So
I know exactly what you mean. That's a lot of like, hold on, let me make this voice note.
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And while I was in London, I managed to like meet a lot of cool people that helped me understand that the industry is a very big but small space.
Mhm.
Like everyone is so interlinked. Like
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So I'd meet someone and then this person would be like, I'm like, oh, but I was with that person yesterday. And I'm just like, how? You're from like 2 different parts of London. She's
Yeah.
like, no, but this person's cousin's cousin. Shit, I need it. That's crazy. So
Yeah.
even when I got here, it was just everyone was like, oh no, I've worked with him before. I've played with him before. He's a great producer. I've written with that person before. So I'm just like, I should have done this a long time ago. But
Yeah, but it's one of those things. Generally, is like a hindsight 2020 when you're just kind of like caught up in
time
your
and
world,
place.
and then all of a sudden you start leaving your world, and you realize like, oh shit, I should have been doing this,
Yep.
But at least you did, and now you know.
But also time and place is so important because like you
Totally.
learn and you understand and process things differently to the point where you now no longer project, or you understand yourself to the point where you know you now need space, or
Yeah.
you know that okay, let me not waste your time, can I just do this tomorrow?
Totally.
Or like where I personally enjoy recording myself, I don't like going out to go work with other people, but now it's something that I'm learning to do, like because I do so many things by myself. Like I just met Gavin, like you, I'm sure you know it because he set this up. But I just met Gavin, and it's like it's really hard finding someone you trust. That's because there's so many things you want to do for yourself, and you just like know that if you do it, you're gonna get it done.
Yeah.
And then finding like someone that is capable of doing that tenfold is just like, oh damn, like you really thought of that, crazy.
Yeah.
It's usually just me thinking about all these things.
Yep.
So like having someone like that that is actually like cares about like okay no that doesn't make sense and your well-being holistically, so everything just kind of fell into place because I met him through a friend of mine, Nonso. I don't know if you know him.
I haven't met him yet. I've just heard
Yeah.
through Gavin.
So like him and I have been friends for years, and he was also like looking for a manager. And then when he told me that he settled with Gavin, and I was just like, oh, you must really trust this person because like you're a weirdo like that. And he's like, no, you need to meet this guy. Like trust me, bro. And then this was all in London at the beginning of this year, and I was telling him like, dude, I've literally done all this, and I don't know what to do with this music. Like, what do I do? And then in London, I created more music, so it just became more frustrating to me. 'Cause I'm just like, when is this gonna get out?
Yeah.
Like, we're just like stuck. It's like they're in my hard drive, and that's where they'll stay.
Sure.
It's like a little prison.
Yeah.
But then I got introduced to a person that actually wants to see someone succeed without like trying to get something from it or leeching off like or having a hidden agenda, you know.
Yeah.
So like with that, like the full circle moment and knowing that everything is so interlinked, it's just knowing how to be respectful and like to carry yourself, but at the same time just be yourself
Yeah.
and authentically also. So I mean that's helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Literally.
I mean, I can't say enough good things about Gavin and like his like history in his own entrepreneurship and leadership is like bar none. Like one of the most amazing people I've ever met, and
Yeah,
he's
no,
just
same.
like such a sweet and
He
like
is.
lovely person, like genuinely caring, great person. Like you're in good hands.
And the industry is like weird. Like
Yeah.
I can't even be out for more than 2 hours.
Yeah.
I get crazy anxious. I'm just like, oh no, so many people are talking to me right now. I'm going home.
Yeah.
And
It's good.
like yeah, like finding people that I don't feel that way around.
Yeah.
I never want to go home then. So
Yeah.
it's like there's zero and then there's 100.
Yeah.
No in between with me.
I totally get that.
Like I'm staying over for the year.
Have you gone to Toronto yet?
No,
Oh.
I'm still working on that visa.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I haven't even like submitted it. It's on my laptop, but I haven't submitted it yet. It's my next.
Get on
it's
it.
my next place. I
Yeah.
think I want to go to. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Have you been there?
I was just there in August, like end of July, August, for my first time, and I've known. I don't know if you probably haven't met Addie, but I have known Addie, who's a close friend of Gavin's since like 2012, and like every year, those like Addie's artist manager and like show promoter or event manager,
Yeah.
and he was managing a bunch of different artists and bringing people from Toronto here, and I built all these relationships with all these amazing guys, and they would always be like, man, you got to come to Toronto, and it took me like 10 fucking years, which is like so embarrassing. And I went there and I was just like, oh my god, this city is fucking awesome, and like they all know it in and out, so it's just like great food, great places to go hang, think. Yeah, it's like so it was an awesome experience.
How was the weather?
Was perfect when I was there in August. They're all saying it's getting cold now, which is why nobody wants to go back because it gets really cold for them. Like versus being here. I mean,
I
California.
think this is the best weather that I've ever been in.
Yeah, you got it perfect right now. It's like doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah, this is our summer back home. Like it doesn't get any hotter than 30 degrees Celsius. So that's like
Yeah.
80, 70, 70.
Higher. I think 100, or I think it's like 90 something or something, maybe for 30.
And it's been
But
like 70 years. So
yeah,
it's like
20s. Yeah, it's
20s.
great. Yeah,
I
that's
can live with
perfect.
that. That's like sweater weather,
Yeah,
shorts.
it was
chill.
brutally fucking hot here for like at least 3 months, 4 months.
I can't
Like,
do that.
yeah, I can't either.
Yeah, you
It's
won't see me in that.
yeah,
I'll
you just
always
are
come at this
inside.
time then.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll literally time it. Well, this
So-
is the month. This is the time I go to LA, guys.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Or I
so-
just don't leave until the sun goes down, and then it gets like 20 degrees cooler, which helps.
that's
It's
wild.
something. Yeah. Okay, so I want to jump back to like I think maybe you said like 17 or something like that. You moved to Johannesburg.
I moved to Johannesburg when I was 19.
Okay, 19.
Yeah.
Why there?
Why there? Because, one of the jobs I also had was working as a radio playlisting human
Cool.
for one of the radio stations back home. And a friend of mine hit me up and asked me to pull up to, like, he's a videographer. And he was like, yo, I really need you to meet some of these people. And me, again, like, only trusting, like, 5 people. And he was one of them. And I was just like, okay, if you're asking me to come, like, it obviously has to be important. I got there and I got stuck in the lift for an hour.
Ouch.
I was already like,
Freaking
I
out.
should not be here.
Yeah, that's
But
a sign.
then, like, once I got upstairs, I was just like, I should definitely not be here. And he then calls me outside. He's like, oh, my friend's here that I wanted to introduce you to. And he introduces me to this artist and his manager, who I then end up signing to. And they then asked me to move to Johannesburg because that's where they're based. But this artist is also, like, up and coming. He's fairly big now, but the label at the time wanted to, like, have a female and a male and, like, represent them and, like, push it out and
Cool.
to export it into Africa
Mhm.
and the rest of the world. And then I obviously quit my jobs. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even know these guys. It was crazy. I was just like, you know what? YOLO. I'm
Yeah.
doing it. My parents, who don't even allow me to have friends, was like, you know what? YOLO. I was like, this is weird, but I'm trusting it. I'm gonna go with it. Going with it. And I moved to Johannesburg, like, with a backpack. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have any expectations. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Music was also just, like, a thought, something that I used to do every Friday at a studio with friends. You know, like, we would just be writing music. And the producer I was working with back then used to sync a lot of stuff. So he'd use me to, like, track these vocals and then, like, send them out, these ideas and stuff. So those are the ideas that my friends then pitched. The friend that got me to that house that he was shooting, the videographer guy, he pitched my SoundCloud stuff to them. So, like, that whole thing just happened. Like, okay, we're signing you. You're going to Johannesburg. This is what's happening. I stayed there for, like, my parents thought I was coming back the following weekend. I didn't. I stayed with literally my backpack, like, thinking, I don't know, we're gonna have to get extra stuff. Like, I don't know, I need to find another. And I had saved, like, from all my jobs that I had, like, my whole life. Like, I had a plan for this money, but now
Yeah.
I'm in Johannesburg and, like, I'm staying with strangers. Like, I don't have extra clothes. I've been wearing the same thing for, like, the whole week. And I'm just, like, YOLOing has been YOLO'd. Like, there's no YOLOing left. Like, literally, I stayed for, like, a full, like, 6 to 8 months. But in that
Holy
space,
shit! In the same outfit for 6 to 8 months?
no, I eventually had to spend my savings, bro. And, like, as time proceeded, it felt good because it kind of felt like I was gaining this independence that I never had. And I was away from my parents, I was away from my family, I was away from my friends, that I was away from, like, things that I could control.
Yeah.
And to me, that was, like, I worked so hard to get to this point where, like, I could do this. And now I moved to a completely different city and I don't know anyone but
Yeah.
the people I live with, and I don't even know them.
Yeah.
So it's just, like, they had to become my best friends. Like, I would annoy them with, like, yo, like, if I want to go for a walk, you guys have to walk with me. If I want
Yeah.
to these are my terms and my conditions. Like, and all they wanted was for me to record. And at the time, like, it was only something I did because I enjoyed it. But then it turned into a job.
Yeah.
Where, like, you need to produce a certain amount of songs because we have to drop. And in my head, it was like, yeah, but dropping was, like, we'd make music for fun on a Friday. And if I liked it, or if I could have it, or if it didn't get placed, we'd just drop it on SoundCloud because,
Yeah.
there was no purpose. But, like, it made us happy. It was, like, our hobby.
Yeah.
You know? And then I got to like while I was there, they wanted me to like be more independent. They wanted me to record myself. They wanted me to write my own music, like more of it, like. And in my head, I was just like, I can't do that. Like this, you guys have been doing this like almost 10 years,
Yeah.
and you're at a point where I see you as like great, and I had never had to like even touch a laptop. Like
Yeah.
I was just the one sitting there in that room singing.
Yeah.
Like not writing lyrics, not coming up with the melodies, none of that.
Yeah.
Now I'm in a space where they're like, oh, just cry on the mic. We'll figure it out. And I'm just like, what? Just sing stuff. And I'm like, what am I singing? Like, and it was like that for like a good 2 months. And it just made me feel like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Music is obviously not something I want to do anymore. This is not fun. I want to go home. But I stuck it out for a full, like, almost a full year. And we dropped a song that, like, they had writers and stuff. And at the time, it just felt like something that I wanted to do then. Because I was like, oh, okay, you can do that. Oh, that's a great thing. Even though I've been doing it, again, it wasn't for me. It was never for me. It was always for someone else or for something else. And I was just a part of it.
Sure.
And this time, it was like I was a part of something, but it was for me this time. Spotlight wasn't me. Like, they wanted me to, like, go out to do these interviews and, like, speak to people and, like, go to all these, like, red carpet events. And, like, I just moved there. So now I'm just like, I don't even want to wear makeup. I don't even like brushing my hair like that. Like, now I need to, like, look presentable. And then I had to start learning about being a brand and how to carry myself and how
It's
to.
a lot.
It's a lot.
What age was that all coming to?
I was still 19.
Okay. Right, because you said within a year.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
All the
Wow.
same year. And it was hard because it's like you're taking in all of this stuff. Like, you just came from, like, doing all these other things that I'm sure they can't do, but it's like they made everything else look so easy. And to me, it felt like the pressure was not worth it. I then packed my shit. I didn't even tell them I was leaving. I called my mom and I was like, I'm booking my flight back home. I'm landing at 8, like, in the morning. I booked my flight for 6 because I knew that they didn't wake up that early.
Yeah.
So I left for the airport without saying anything to anyone. By the time they woke up, they called me. They were like, yo,
You good?
yeah, what's up? Like, did you go for a walk? And I'm just like, yeah, back home. All the way back home. And they're like, yeah, but you're not home because we're home. And I'm like, the other home. In Cape Town. And it was awkward because they were just like, wait, what? Like, how did you even, like, why?
Yeah.
And they try to, like, understand. And I couldn't even put it in words at the time because it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
And with time, I kept making music, but for a different reason now. Because now just, like, I know that I can do this. I'm capable of doing this. Like, I could definitely be the one that's in the front, too. That's crazy. And I never wanted to because I still kind of, I prefer the behind-the-scenes stuff. I prefer being in studio, writing, recording, mixing, doing those kind of things.
Cool.
Like, that's my favorite part. Like, the performing in front of people, I prefer it being birds, to be honest, because they don't talk. But, like, it was a lot. But going back home, I went back, I continued this organization with the rest of, it was called Utopia. And this was just a bunch of dancers, singers, comedians, like whatever we wanted to be. That's where it was a safe space where you can come rehearse, come up with content. We'll help you, and then put together a showcase. We'll sell tickets. We'll all make money off of that, and we do it again.
Cool.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that was something that I had to learn how to do because I was now managing this, and I'm like, I'm really excited about this. Like, I can write the music, I can write the play, we can get a band. We did that. We integrated into them. It was a group of like 40, 50 people.
Holy shit.
And again, like, these are people I still talk to this day. Like,
Yeah.
They all, obviously, like, we're all grown up now.
Yeah.
But the ages, like, range from like 14 to like 24. 24 was the oldest. And it was just this big family. So, like, all of us and our families became family. So we'd end up, like, sleeping over at each, like, we'd just, like, have movie nights, or we'd have jam nights, like, open mic nights, and we'd just come over to our, like, and we'd have, like, these little shows, tell our friends to come, and it's in my backyard, and everyone's just chilling, like, there's a little fire, it's like a bonfire in the backyard. And it was, like, cute stuff like that made me feel like, okay, this is, like, I need to find my purpose. I need to
Yeah.
redirect all this energy into something that I feel like would be fulfilling and also, like, inspire other people at the same time. Because, I mean, I have all these, like, can't even say kids, but, like, I I have people that's looking at me and they put me on this like cute little pedestal, but like I don't see it like that because to me it's just like I really enjoy being around them, but to them it's just like, Ro, how do we do this? Okay, Ro, I think we should do this. And now I had to also like explain to them that I'm still trying to do my music like independently, but I still want to do my stuff.
Yeah.
And it was getting difficult because I had to start juggling like their stuff and the priorities, their priorities, like what they wanted, and then what I also wanted. So like that became a little heavy for me at some point where I needed to then like tell everyone like I can't do this anymore because it was taking up so much time, and because I was so passionate, like I couldn't do both things.
Sure.
Like I'm a very like 100% or nothing. So if I couldn't give them 100% of my time, I would rather not disrespect, because then we'd have like these parent meetings and I'm the one standing on the stage as a kid trying to explain to them like this was literally, I was still 19, this is close to the end of the year, trying to explain to them like why this is not working out or why we can't do this anymore, and that I can't just appoint someone else. I'm like, you can do that. I don't mind, but it's just like, do you feel safe with someone else doing that? Like,
Yeah.
do you trust someone that's going to like just an adult coming in? There is a reason we don't want adults running this, because adults find a way to make things boring, or it's too formal, or it's, you know, like there's always blurred lines, and we didn't want that. We
Yeah.
wanted this organization to be run by all of us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then with time, I got my own studio set up. I saved up. I kept doing that. We did like 2 shows. We made quite a lot of money, and I saved up. I then got my own mic. I got my own laptop, and I then started recording myself, and it was horrible. But I mean, that is where it all really started for me, because I was just like, if I'm not gonna like push myself to be the best version of myself, then
Who is?
no one else is gonna
Yeah.
like. No one's here to babysit me anymore. Like, I'm grown. I'm 20 years old, and I have no plan. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And with time, I ended up having so many songs that I felt like I needed to prove myself, because now I'm going back to Joburg and I'm gonna show these guys that I've done it, everything they wanted of me, but I did it like my way this time.
Yeah.
And my ego got in the way, because I was also like, I don't need them. Even though they didn't do anything in particular, I just felt like, why were you bullying me into becoming something that I didn't want to be? But it was never like that. It was really just my own insecurities and like what I thought they were thinking. Instead of asking them what they were thinking, I would just like assume and like that. Yep, that's all. That's it. That was
Yeah.
the full stop. I'm right. They haven't even said it, but I'm right. So like I had to live with like my thoughts the whole time.
Yeah.
And literally it was so annoying, and I had to grow into like communicating like directly,
Yeah.
saying what I want directly. They're like, Ro, just get to the point. I'm like, I'm trying, can I just text you? Like literally I'm just like standing there like so yeah, I sent it. Like that's literally me, like in a friendship if I can't, but it's like that's me like trying. And I got to a point where I now could just stand up for myself and say, look, this is what I want in
Yeah.
the deal. If you want to sign me, this is how it's gonna go. And I didn't go that way, and I didn't sign. I stayed independent for like a year. I dropped a mixtape. I dropped an EP with like 6 songs, and it did fairly well. And then I generated like more like a little fan base.
Amazing. I want to go back a little bit on that before we keep going forward. So,
Okay.
when you bought your first few pieces of equipment, where'd you start? What'd you buy?
Focusrite, the little
Mhm.
small red interface.
Yep.
And the mic, the whole setup actually, the Focusrite headphones, like it's a little bundle.
Okay.
Yeah, and my laptop is the same laptop I still use today, the Asus. It's crazy I'm still using the same laptop. I am a hoarder, I'm sorry. Everyone mocks me all the time, but I'm just like, it's not broken.
Yeah,
Why do I need to fix it?
for sure.
So I've been recording on that laptop since the inception of my career.
Amazing. And what program did you start out using?
FL.
Okay.
Studio.
So did you just teach yourself how to use, connect,
YouTube.
like literally what to buy, what to,
Literally
how to
sat there
connect
like,
it, how to...
It's not working! Just hang on. Then I asked my brother, can you just talk? And I was just like sitting there like trying to figure it out. Then eventually I was like, how do people make this sound good?
Yeah.
And then I couldn't do that. And it just like, I had no stock, like I had nothing, because like I had the demo version. So I couldn't even finish, like if I finished something, I could never go back to it. So like I'd have to finish it
And then export it.
and then like have that. Then I'm like, yep, that was the song I did today.
Yeah.
So with time, I started using Cubase. I just watched the guy that I used to work with in the beginning when I was like 15, 14, 15, and I was doing the demos. He used Cubase, and I would just like watch what he was doing like all the time, and it just looked crazy because he used to decorate his stuff with colors like in harmony parts. I still do that to this day.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough. I then, when I moved to Johannesburg, like the second time, I moved in. It was like a musical house. Like we all like split the rent. Like we had a studio and then we all had our own rooms.
Cool.
And my one friend, who was a part of the first like camp that I used to live with, it was me. Like he was the only like old member.
Okay.
Of the past, you know.
Mhm.
And he still shared the same sentiments of me like needing to push myself a little bit hard, like further. And he was that one person like, no, Ro, you can do better. You need to, no, that line needs to be stronger or whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they were also using Cubase, but they were like crazy with it. Like, it's crazy. Like the songs that they made, and like you'd hear it and be like, damn, you just did that in there. And it wasn't even like a studio. It was like a room, like, it wasn't even like this. Like, it was just a lounge that we turned into a studio. Like,
Sure.
no soundproofing.
Yeah.
Like, none of that. Like, it was just a normal room. The freaking window, you can hear the birds, like, outside. Like, everything you need to, like, stop, record,
Yeah.
stop. Like, if you hear something, it's just, like, the whole time. Because it's, like, the echoing was so bad. But, like, they managed to mix that shit to the point where you can't even say that we did it in that room.
Wow.
And that was what I wanted. That's all I wanted to be.
Sure.
Like, I want to be like them. Like, I want to be an engineer. Like, why do we even sing? Like, I want to do that. Like, I want to make people sound cool. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with time, like, I was just sitting there and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to sit next to you and I'm just going to do, like, on my laptop, I'm going to do everything you're doing. So install everything you have on this laptop and I'm going to literally duplicate your steps. And that's, like, how I practiced to, like, I recorded my first, like, proper song. And, like, I watched him do this vocal chain, this crazy vocal chain. And I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but this is what you're doing and you sound cool. So I was like, I'm duplicating this vocal chain. And I finished the
Great.
song and I'm like, I'm dropping this shit tomorrow. This shit's fire. And that song got, like, 4 Netflix placements.
No way.
I kid you not. That was the first song I fully wrote, like, from the beginning to the end, that I mixed, and just messed around the fuck I was doing. And that was literally the beginning of so much for me. But, like, it was a time, like, even the show that dropped last year, same song. And the song's, like, 5 years old, 4 years old.
So so now that's the creating process and you're learning and kind of imitating other people engineering wise and you're starting to learn how to finesse it and make it your own thing. What's the process now when you make your song and you're like, I'm ready to drop this song? Is it literally just like, fuck it, I'm throwing it on SoundCloud? Or are you starting to look at like, how do I get this on streaming platforms and using a distribution company? Like, what's your initial method at that stage?
So at first I used DistroKid.
Okay.
I dropped that Cupid song through DistroKid. I dropped that song, and I dropped, like, this mixtape of, like, 30 songs.
Wow, holy shit.
DistroKid. I was just dropping music, because now I'm great. I'm mixing my own music. I'm writing my own music. No one can tell me nothing.
Yeah.
I'm a freaking genius. So it's just, like, I'm the star now. You know? So it's just, like, I was creating my own artwork. I started, like, figuring it out. Like, okay, so what is a producer agreement? Like, what is a split sheet? What is publishing? Like, why do I need to sign up to all these organizations? So, like, to this day, I'm still learning. Like, to this day.
Oh, yeah. It's such a deep industry, and there's so much to learn. Yeah.
I'm just like, how did I not know this yesterday?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me that was important 4 years ago? Because surely I would have made more money.
Yeah.
But, like, now it's, like, understanding the brand value. Like, knowing that, okay, you've built yourself to, like, this point. Now, how do you export that in a way that's still authentic and people can, like, understand what you're doing, but it's not, like, too marketed, because again, like, I don't have a team. There's no marketing money or any spend that goes behind the shit that I do.
Yeah.
It's really just like, okay, how can I use this campaign to pay for this project, or how it has to be like everything needs to pay for itself, but it's still the brand that does it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I had to turn myself into a business I had to turn myself into a label and a manager and the artist at the same time. I literally have, oh, I shouldn't be saying this because a lot of people's gonna know. I am my own manager, so like, I have a fake email, fake access, like literally a whole different phone, a whole different number. Like I deal with all my shit.
We've all gone through those
I
phases.
was just like, shit. Like every time I'm just like, oh shit. I now need to be JD. And I'm just like, literally, like then it's like a switching personality. And I need to now like have this notepad because I'm just like, okay, what did I say to this person yesterday? Because it's just like shit, like you can't slip up. You can't even say that you're like at any point when they say Rowlene, you can't just be like, yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
You need to be like, yeah, I'll speak to her.
Yeah.
Or no, she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Or it's third person the whole time, and like sometimes I forget. And oh my god.
Me, she.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably the hardest part, but like just knowing now that like there's so much power in like believing in what you're doing. And that's where it starts, literally. If you believe that the song can go there, you just need to figure out how you're gonna get it there.
Yeah.
Everything else is just bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So even getting here, like I've already dropped 2 songs since I've been here, and like it's doing so much better than before, and that's just because of my attitude now.
Sure.
And those songs weren't like, these songs are obviously better because like I've grown. It's time, like the people I surround myself with. But like those songs are still the stuff that got placed. But that was, I believe that had to happen for me to get to where I am now.
Sure.
But now at least like I'm way more conscious of how I do things. Like when I choose when I need to go outside, and like I know that this is not for fun, but I have to like be outside.
Yeah.
Like you're an artist and you need to speak and collaborate, and you need to be in a space where you're uncomfortable, but like we all have to do this shit. It's also my job now. Like it's not just like this is literally my only, like this is all I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with like the marketing aspect of shit, I'm still figuring it out. Like now I'm just in my, I've always been everything in my life has always been pink, but now I'm putting that into, I'm trying to like integrate that into my music because it's like, it's really who I am. Like that's really who I am. So like I don't have to try to be something else or try to be consistent, because like I wake up and I'm like, what am I gonna wear today? And then I'm like, there's not enough pink. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, it has to be a touch of pink. Like whether it's my socks, my t-shirt, my sneakers, it has to be there. Like at some point my hair was pink. That was this year, to be honest. But I grew out of that. I was like, this is not healthy. But but like to the point where it's like, this is not fickle. This is real. And like just my weird quirks, like how I speak, like I meow at people and they know that that's me. Like if it's not meow, like they know it's not me. Like it's who took her phone? This is not her. You know what I mean? Like that. Like when people call me, they say that first, or and they wait for me to say it back, or I say it and if they say it back, that's how they know it's me. They don't want to be talking to some random, like someone randomly answered my phone or some shit. But like stuff like that, I learned how to like now really go hard on that. Like even in my like how I speak or my captions or what I say or how when I go outside, it's just like, it's actually that simple. You just need to find out what it is who it is you are.
Yeah.
And just run with that.
Yeah.
Because you can't lose with being yourself. Like everyone else has already taken up those spots.
Yeah.
So like, you can't just be like, I want to be the next this or that or that. It's so hard for me to describe when people ask me like, who inspires you, or like, why do you like? It's hard because I'm just like, I don't see myself like remotely even being in that space or like the same journey, or like there's so many like little things that had happened to me, like so many jobs I've worked, or like people I had to like meet, or like moments where I felt like, yeah, no, fuck this shit, music ain't it.
Yeah.
I would rather be a dentist. But like, you know what I mean? Like the back and forth, like the fight you have with yourself in the mirror every day.
Yeah.
So like now I'm way more content because I know, like, dude, like you can do this shit. I tell myself that every day. I wake up and I'm like, bro, this shit's easy. Too easy. You got this shit. You're a genius. I tell my shit that. Like, that's my shit every day. Like, and I have this like thing where I have to make a song a day also. That's also like something I live by. Even if it's trash, it might be great to someone else.
I love that.
Great placement.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So with going back to Cupid, that song, you make that song, you upload that song. How does like even the first placement take place? Like, is that something somebody just contacts you out of the blue?
Contact me out of the blue. And that's how my first publishing deal actually happened. They contacted me out of the blue, and they wanted to sync the song. I also had another song that also for the same series got placed. I had 4 songs in that show, but it was all off my mixtape that had all those songs.
Awesome.
So it was like I said, like someone is gonna like it.
Yeah.
So it's like 40 songs and like 4 of them get placed. What are the odds, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's better you put out 40 and 4 gets placed versus putting out nothing and nothing gets placed.
Yeah.
So they hit me up. I then signed to this publishing company. I'm still with them now to this day.
And they're based where?
In South Africa.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So as time proceeded, it just kept coming, and that's how I also make a lot of. When I make my music, I have the TV on, but I leave the subtitles on and like the volume all the way down.
Yeah.
And that's how I start my song for the day. Like
Awesome.
I watch something and I'm just like, how would this fit in whatever the fuck they just said? I don't even know the context, but it's like, okay, then I'll just play a beat and I'll start writing. And
Cool.
like, okay, how would this? And that's just my thought process behind like getting
I love that.
cinematic shit.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you go through like that. At that point, you sign a publishing deal. You got your first project is on all the streaming company platforms, and you're what, like still 20?
Yeah.
21, 20?
20 still.
And what's like at that point going through your mind? Like, is it I'm gonna continue to be behind the scenes ish and write and develop songs to just go sync and that's like the career, or do you now start to get out and start performing and actually start doing shows?
So I did, at that age, I start like when I turned 20, I also had my really big break because I did this big collaboration with one of the rappers back home.
How'd that come about?
Same label, the
Cool.
beginning. Remember the guy that I met at the video shoot?
Yeah.
I then signed to his label.
Okay.
That's the full circle moment again.
Wow.
Yeah. That song did really well. Like literally, that was the song that had me touring like to a lot of places.
Cool.
Got me into a lot of rooms.
Awesome.
What was the question?
I just was basically wondering like how you were, if you were starting to do shows now that you had a publishing deal, and if you're now seeing that whole kind of network of things you need to do as an artist.
Yeah, so that song literally changed my life like completely. I also met my best friend like in that space.
Cool.
Yeah, so she's from Kenya. So like I was in Kenya and like I was doing a show. So like that whole full circle moment, which we'll also speak about. But the show part, I'm still learning to enjoy it. But like that was like the beginning of like performing on big stages to like thousands and thousands and thousands of people like watching you. And
crazy fucking way to start.
I'm just like, whoa. I literally went in a onesie this one time, thinking like, it's just a performance. No, you're performing to a lot of people, bro. What are you doing? I'm just like, you didn't tell me that we were doing this today. And like, they're like, yo, we outside. And I'm like, oh shit, coming out. And me running outside in my red onesie, like, oh, let's go. And they're like looking at me. No one told me, yo, like, don't you want to change? Just let me be. They're like, okay, Elmo, we go. To the gig, we went. And
I love that.
I just went on stage in a onesie. And people still sang the words back to me, though. And that was crazy. I was like, yo, even in my weirdest moments, this is the shit. This is it. This is the moment we've been working hard for. But with that whole label, like, I just got on my deal last year with them. I was signed to them, and I released an album through them as well. But my contract was done, and I was just like, nah, I really feel like I can do this shit by myself, because like in this last 2 years of like being signed to another artist was a little hard, because like obviously their priorities are still their priorities, and
of course
I always wanted to support that. And for like that entire period, like because I'm such a supportive person, and like the whole 100% thing, I put a lot of my energy into that more than I did into myself again.
Yeah.
And the pandemic happened, and I started working on my album. I then met how I even know him. I just met him like 2-3 weeks ago when I got here, but like that's also like a full circle moment, because like our friends back home that now live here, but like we did the full Parent Trap like switch where they there now and like I'm here. But just trusting trusting the whole process of like how this is all interlinked somehow, and just knowing that what is for you will never miss you
Yeah.
ever. So like even with the performances, like being terrified, but then having someone that's like so sweet on the side of the stage, just like saying, "Oh my God, you were so good. Breathe, whatever," and like just saying, "Do you need a shot?" And I'm just like, "I don't know." And then we have a shot. Now we're best friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like simple. It's not even cliche moments, but it's like little things that's just like, damn, like you. And then I found out she's also an artist. That's why she understood my emotions at that exact moment. To this day, it's like, damn, there are some cool people out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. So what was it like for you going through COVID? Like, you're back in South Africa, or where were
I was
you?
back home.
Okay.
I loved it because again, I don't like going out anyway.
Yeah.
And now we got to stay at home on purpose.
Did things change for you at all in terms of like your routine or things you were doing at the time?
Not at all.
Yeah.
I actually got more work during COVID.
I feel like for most music and creative based people, we were all kind of like,
Hey,
yeah, this is kind of our lives. Like
kind of what we do
we're in
every
these
day.
places.
Exactly.
We do this kind of work. We're used to not getting paid
You know,
regularly,
the
so
best part is like doing interviews from home. Like I didn't even have to get up and do my makeup. I'm just like, well, yeah, I'm just standing in the lounge and I'm in bed doing this interview, and it's just like, this is what my life could be like. You're telling me this is it, and I started doing more campaigns because obviously brands try to promote what they were doing in that space without any physical contact. So that was when I learned a lot about brand awareness and like how I can make money off just posting shit on Instagram.
yeah,
And because I'm an artist, like integrating that into music, like that also simultaneously pushes my music. It's just like, damn, who needs marketing when you can work with other brands? So with that, with COVID, I then started like understanding that like if I get paid this amount, knowing that a master and a mix and master paying for a beat, paying for all these things, if I did 3 of these, I'd be able to do a full project and like have a proper project, like do a proper shoot, like, you know, like what like real artists do, because like I did everything myself, like from the curating the artwork to editing the artwork to choosing the font to track list to designing that to writing the songs to mixing the songs to making sure that I'm like friends with everyone, so that like, yo, can you help me with this? Yo, can you help me? Can we produce this? Can we, like, to the point where now I'm like confident. I'm like, okay, how do I pay you?
yeah,
And it's like the cool thing about relationships now with like some of my friends is just like, nah, bro, just give me a point.
yeah,
Just give me 2 points. Because like to them it's like, I didn't understand. Now it's like, okay, I see you. This is a long-term investment.
yeah,
Like this is an asset. Like over like just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, because I'm independent, I'm just like, you know what, how can I help you?
yeah,
What's the deal? What do you need? Like, who do you need to speak to? How do I get you in that room? Because if I can, like, why would I gatekeep anything? That's some bullshit. Like, if I've worked with a brand and someone wants to work with, how did I do that? Just like, bro, I have this person's email. I'll send it to you. This is what I did. Do you have a rate card? Do you have an EPK? Like, what's your, you know what I mean? Like, why would you do this? Like, where's the brand cohesion? Like, all of that stuff. Like, I ask my friends all these questions. I put their shit together. I put a deck together for them. And I regardless, like, if it's a feature, if it's a producer they want to work with, if it's a songwriter, like, I just love connecting people. Like, it's my favorite part. I'm just like, oh my God, you guys would be such cool friends. Like, you should be friends. Like, that's literally me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Where did like that like attitude come from for you to start, like, I mean, I guess I know you mentioned like you were by yourself a lot, but to develop all those skills and to learn all those different things, like, that's a lot.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
A lot of it. A lot of trial and error. Like, from accepting, like, I did an in-store window campaign. I didn't understand, like, image usage rights, and they just went ham with those photos. And I was just like, damn, I'm everywhere. Shit, I've made it. Like, I'm in all the stores, and they didn't pay me for that. And I was just like, oh, okay, cool. They were playing my music. They synced my stuff to, like, their ads and shit. And I was like, that's so dope. Like, oh my God, this is before pre-publisher.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. To the point where now I know, come on. Like, if you're gonna use my picture, you can only use it for X amount of days.
Yeah.
If you want to use it for more, this is how much. If you want to use my music, how long? How much of the seconds are you using it? Like, all of those things. These are the questions I ask now.
Yeah.
In my manager voice, obviously.
What was your manager name?
JD.
JD?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. If you're watching
Meet
this
JD.
and you got scammed, it's me.
I love
It's worth
that.
It, though. It's really worth it. Because you learn so much. Like, the questions they ask you, and you're just like, oh my god, I didn't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
And then you go and hit up real managers, and you're just like, yo, so what rate did you send them? Because it's like big shows, and you're just like, I just want to be on stage.
Yeah.
I just want to practice. And then you get there, and then they want to see the manager, and you're just like, it's my road manager. She couldn't make it today.
Yeah.
That's just been like, it's thinking on my feet the whole time. It's crazy.
I love it.
Until you actually go crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
At what point did you, I mean, it sounds like more recently that you kind of just hit a wall of being like, okay, I can't like continue this path anymore and I need help to expand.
When I kind of acknowledged like the power that I have and like the law of attraction, like knowing that if I do set my mind to something, like what is going to stop me from getting it? You know what I mean? Like it's really just me and my brain at this point. So like every single thing that I've wanted in the last like 6 months, like I've managed to obtain it in some or other weird way. Like even Gavin, like I wish I had my book here because I literally write everything down. I literally said like I think
somebody just is moving into the dumpster outside or something because I've never heard that thing be that loud for this long. Sorry for the noise.
They're just like recycling.
Hopefully.
You're doing great. Like you're doing great. Yeah, they're recycling.
So you keep a book, and the book is the manifesting book.
Yeah, and like also just because I'm very forgetful, and like you can't be because like I accept so many things. I have to have a calendar. I have to make sure that everything's synced. So like in that book, I also like have a to-do list of like things I need to do, things I want to achieve today, like and things I'm grateful for, like all of those things, just to like keep me in tune with like what I'm doing currently. But it really does become too much because like then you start overextending yourself. You're now like you said yes to 8 things.
Yeah.
And you it's physically impossible for you to do all of those things. Like I just like 2 weeks ago before I came here, I was supposed to be here on the Monday. My best friend from Kenya flew in. She studied at Berkeley, so like she already has like some form of like, like organization here. You know what I mean? I don't. Like, she's the only person and Bugele, which is back home now, and then obviously like the guys because like they all live together.
Yeah.
But knowing that I had to go and finish a verse in Dubai and shoot like the first half of the video, and I also had to be here at the same time.
Oh shit.
So it's like that's physically impossible for me to do. Like literally I can't do that. Like I can't come and film something here because I have to do something for Platoon, which I obviously had to move because now I'm like shit, I double booked myself in 2 different countries.
Yeah, and like a whole other half of the world.
Literally. Like an 18-hour flight away.
Yeah.
And I then knew, I was like, there's no way. Like, I really want to do all of this shit, and I don't want to turn anyone down.
Yeah.
But I didn't mean to, and I don't want to disappoint anyone because it's just the complex I have. But, like, at the same time, it's like, if you commit to something, you need to see it through. So, like, knowing that there's so many more things I want to do, and acknowledging that I cannot do it by myself.
Yeah.
I can, like, but it's not healthy.
Yeah.
Because then there won't be time for me to really make the music that I want to make.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, okay, studio, it's nice because you have discipline. Like you wake up, you have a routine. You're like, okay, smoothie, write, read, record, then like chill for a bit, eat, maybe smoke, then record again.
Yeah.
Then repeat. Maybe go to sleep. If you can. Like that's literally like if I have deadlines or like I have verses I need to finish, like the amount of people I say yes to.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like I would literally sit in the studio and be like shit, and I'd look at the list of people I owe music and it's like why did I say yes?
I mean, I feel like that, like at some point is part of the reason why you have like success and momentum is by keeping all those things going.
Yeah.
And I think in like the hustle stages, or at least like until you're kind of like fulfilled with all the things you're trying to accomplish, like it's kind of like it's either that, which I'm sure you've experienced for a long time, and then the counter to that is like the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And so like when you have the complete opposite, you're like, oh fuck, like things are slow. This feels weird. I'm like not used to this. And then you either like have that or this like, fuck, I'm like way overcommitted.
Yeah.
I have way too many things going on right now, and I need that time where I have nothing. And it's like, at least that's for me. That's always been like the juggle of like balancing the scale.
It's such a weird scale though.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's just like, and I at some point like I've had to learn to not feel guilty like when I'm doing nothing, because I always feel like shit. What am I doing? Like, what am I supposed to do? I feel like I'm missing something. Shit, I forgot to do something. And I'd sit there and I'd think, and I'd literally have nothing because, like, I've already written, I've already checked everything in my book, done everything. But I'm still sitting there thinking, but how can I be, I could be doing something right now. And then I start doing something. I'm just like, nope. Like, you're wasting time sitting on this couch. So, like, now, and it's such a weird time because, like, being here, I actually have time to just sit and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not thinking about like the next thing and the next thing, and like the one thing hasn't even happened to its completion. I'm already thinking about the next thing. Like,
Yeah.
That's just me. Like, that's just the rabbit hole I'm chasing. Like, I need to slow down. I haven't even been to the beach yet.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like a friend today was just like, bro, come on. Like, that's the one thing you need to do. And I'm like, I actually think there's a good reason why, because like we've planned to do it so many times, but it just hasn't happened. And I'm just like, I trust the universe so much that there's a reason why I shouldn't be at the beach right now. And when I do get there, Justin Bieber might be there.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm just going to trust the process. I'm not forcing anything because, I mean, everything that's happened, I obviously worked really hard for it, but it came naturally. It was awkward times and, like, me not wanting to and pushing myself to do it. But again, I can't say I always know, because there's times when I'm like, I get stuck in the lift.
Yeah.
And this person changes my life in overnight. Or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I start a job and this person changes my life completely just because I went to one workshop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the session I had, now I have friends that are like, I can literally call for anything, like at any time, because of the time zone, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, it works.
Yeah.
So just knowing, like, now I have my, like, literally just being anxious on stage, walking off someone offering me a shot is now my best friend and also a brilliant songwriter. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it's time and place. Like,
Yeah.
I believe that everything happens for a reason, and like, you don't have to question that shit.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you should, but like, maybe you dodged the car accident.
Yeah.
Because you were 10 minutes late, or you know.
Yeah.
Like, all those little incremental things, I believe in all of them.
Me too. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's freaking great. So me being late meant that like I saved my life.
Yeah. 100%. I'm glad you were late. Totally makes up for it.
Safety first, guys.
Yeah.
Safety first.
That's always a good rule. The universe just wanted to make sure that I wasn't in a car accident, so I was late. But I'm here and I'm safe, so that's really what matters.
Exactly. We're all here. We're having this conversation, and you guys are gonna listen to it and have the best time.
So what's like at this point you're performing in a red onesie, you're traveling around Africa, shit's getting crazy, you're seeing, big audiences, you're basically like just jumping in the deep end, like it's
Literally.
just like, holy shit, I'm all of a sudden now on stage performing for all these people. And are you thinking like, I'm gonna stay here and continue to build a career, or are you thinking like, I need to start traveling and see what's out? Like, I don't know anything about the South African music industry. Like, is there a supportive industry that lives there?
It's quite supportive. But there are like dominant genres.
Okay.
So the amapiano scene is really big now. A lot of people are jumping onto that wave. And like hip hop is coming back into fashion. Like it takes turns. It's like waves. It's like they can't really support everyone at the same time. Like the industry is big, but not that big. But I definitely am a firm believer in traveling, because the world is such a big place. And I mean, I only just started traveling like internationally the beginning of this year. I finished the project in like a week, literally, of just like being in a different country. I was there for 3 months, but like in that 3 months, I thought about how I was gonna market it, who the distributor was gonna be, who was gonna, like I already thought about all of those things, but that was because I was in those spaces where there were people thinking and like mentioning those things. Whereas back home, they're still recycling.
It's like,
It's a lot of things.
yeah, it must be. It's an impressive amount of recycling.
So, while we're listening to the recycling and my story, they're both healthy. So, I support it.
So when your first destination was London?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you go there with anybody?
Nope.
Okay.
Solo. I had to talk to people.
Yeah.
I had to really
Where'd you
try.
stay?
Oh, Wembley.
Okay. The
Right.
whole time?
Yeah, the whole time.
Okay. Cool.
Like, it was really cool because I was in a space where there were a lot of students. So, like, there were a lot of people my age, and, like, they're all in school, obviously, because they were studying something. And it was so weird to them because they were just like, so what do you do? Every time I met someone, I was just talking to them in the elevator or going to get food or just going to Box Pot, going anywhere. And they'd just be like, the conversation would be like, it would always come down to, so what do you do? Or you look so cool. Or, oh my God, your energy is like so hectic. Like, what do you do? Or, and I was just like, I'm an artist. They're like, oh, damn, that's crazy. That's it. It's like, it's either, oh my God, it's so like, where do I find it on Spotify? Or like, just like, how?
Yeah.
They just look at me and be like, what do you mean you're an artist? And like, you feel that. Like, you just like, okay, sometimes I spin some stories and I really just love being dramatic. Or I'm just like, yeah, so shots. Like,
And so you're just committing 3 months? That's just like the decision up front?
3 is my lucky number. I was born on the 3rd.
Okay.
On the 3rd month. So, like, I believe that, like, everything, like, what I'm doing, if I start feeling even, it's not uncomfortable. It's just if I start feeling like, okay, on to the next. I book my flight and I leave. I never have a return flight, though. It's always one way. I always just book one ways. Because I'm like, I might meet someone and I might stay there for my whole life. Who knows?
Yeah.
My life might change tomorrow. LA is giving me those vibes, though. I hope not. It's so expensive here. I don't know how people do this shit. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, people manage to fucking do it. Shout out to you for upholding this shit. Cause
Oh, it's been one hell of a journey.
Oh.
One hell of a journey.
Cause damn. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I've been here for almost 12 years.
12 years?
Like in this building.
Like,
And I'm 33.
damn, you really been working. I ain't shit.
Yeah.
Like, what am I even
No,
doing?
it's all different. You know, everybody's path is different. So you're in London, and you're still doing a song a day? That's just like the dead routine?
Definitely.
Okay.
I love that routine. And
Yeah.
that's like, I went to this concert. I went to, I don't know if it was the Vito or Burna Boy's concert. It was one of the two of them. And there were a bunch of artists. I didn't even, was the Vito, because I didn't have an armband. I was just confident as fuck. I walked in at the back, and I knew one artist, like really knew one artist that was like vocalistic, is back home, is from South Africa. And I was supposed to be going with them, but then I got lost in like because they were moving so fast. Like, we met backstage, they had to go on stage immediately when we got there. So because we kept circling the O2, we got lost, and I couldn't get in because I didn't have an armband. And I was just like, okay, you're an artist, you've done this before. What do you do in this situation? You're getting in. You did not come all this way for nothing. And I just walked in and I was just like, yeah, I'm going to the concert. And this guy just looked at me like, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting my armband from, and like, I knew some people, so I just like name drop. I was just like, I'm seeing Bizzle, or like, he's giving me my armband. Luckily, like, he ran the whole thing, and I did know him. Like, I really did know him.
Yeah.
So like, I'm outside. I don't have a SIM card. I don't know why I always do this to myself. In every country, I don't have a SIM card. Like, I'm just moving dizzy. But it's like, hey, whatever's gonna happen. And I get in, like, literally, and I get backstage. I get, like, literally watching, like, the rest of the artists are there. All these artists that I want to still work with, like CK at Ekunle Gold, all these people are like sitting in the section. And me, I'm just like, you know what? I'm walking up to these motherfuckers and I'm telling them I want to work with them. And like, I did it. But.
You did not?
No. Thought about it. And I got to see the show, but then what was crazy is that I didn't meet any of them at that specific show. Then another show happened in Manchester. And I'm also like, you know what? I'm doing the 3-hour drive because, like, why not? Like, I really want to see the show. And there's a friend of mine, Oxlade, he came into town, and luckily, like, we drove together. So it was like, okay, you're performing. This is going to be easy. Because, like,
yeah,
I'm with an artist that's actually performing at the show. And then he introduces me to, like, all these people that was at the previous show. And he's just like, and they were like, weren't you at that show? And I was like, now this is awkward because you saw me being weird. I was just being the weirdo. Like, because I was moving dizzy. I didn't have an armband. If the security came and, like, they kicked me out. I was thinking of all the things that could have happened. Because now I'm like, I still have the video. I'm standing, like, I'm in awe of this performance because, like, I'm backstage. Like, I'm literally, like, tiny so I can maneuver my way. And I'm just like, I'm with that person. I'm not. But, like, again, I'm an artist. So it's like, how would I have done this, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm also not lying because I am an artist. So if it does come down to like, oh my God, you're that girl from that song. Okay, yes. But like that was never my play. My play was just like, yo, just be confident. Just walk.
Yeah.
Like no one can, like if they stop you, just be like, yo, you know who I am. Like, and you just hope it works. Like, and you just keep moving. You just keep moving. Don't even look back because then they know. They know. But even like they really know. And like the whole full circle moment again happened like once he introduced me to all these people. We all like start following each other. I'm like, I'm inside now. I'm inside the clique. I don't even need to worry about London anymore. Like it's happened. And even then, I literally booked my flight the morning, and I was like, I'm going to London today. Packed. I was like, what's the weather? We don't know. I had one big ski jacket. It was snowing when I got there.
Nice.
I was like, well, the rest of my shit's summer. So now I'm wearing this one big pink ski jacket every day. Like, every day. Because I'm just
I
like...
see the theme here.
Exactly.
The pattern.
Exactly.
At least it's pink.
At least it was pink. And it was a dope jacket. It was really... And at least I was warm.
Yeah.
Because they were just like, damn, you really came prepared. And I was like, I wish you knew. I wish you knew that I need this jacket. I can never take this jacket off until I get inside. Like, there's no way. Like, and I hate the cold. I can't do it. I'm anemic, so I'd die.
Oh shit.
Okay, not literally, but like.
It's brutal for you. Yeah.
I'm turning blue and shit. Like, there's no way. There's no way. But it was worth it. It was so worth it. My project, every feature that I have in it, I had recorded myself. Like,
cool.
So it's like everyone in the room was so impressed. I'm just like, yeah, you should invest in yourself. That's just me being cocky, knowing that damn, it did not start like this for me.
Yeah.
And like, but also like you end up inspiring everyone else at the same time because they're just like, shit, you're a girl and you record yourself. Dumbasses.
Yeah.
But like,
fucking stereotypes.
Exactly. And
bullshit.
also, I feel like the most powerful person in the room.
Yeah.
Like, I can say, no, can you remove that? It's too much high end. The frequencies are too high. Can you cut that? Like, no, the reverb. And I'm just like, y'all are just talking shit. I'm also just talking shit, but I know what I want to hear, so at least I can talk shit until it gets to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
But, like...
That's so valuable.
I mean, like, it saves me a lot of time.
Yeah.
If someone sends me something, I can just do it in, like, an hour.
Yeah.
Send it back. Move on with my life.
Still using FL?
Cubase.
Okay.
Still in the Cubase live.
Nice.
Still on my Aces.
Hey, if it works.
I know, and like, I don't want another laptop.
Yeah.
Like, I hope nothing happens to her. Shit. Like, I would probably lose my shit. Because the thing is, like, I just know everything. I know how to navigate myself on that thing. Like, why would I put myself through something that is going to take me 5 hours, whereas this is just, like, I know my shortcuts.
Yeah. My
trackpad's already broken.
Yeah.
I have to use a mouse. But it's a gaming mouse, so it's pretty. It changes color.
Cool.
It's pink all the time, though. But, yeah, man. Like, that's probably, like, my biggest investment was learning how to do that. Because now, like, I don't need to be in a room, like, where I feel inferior or, like, have... What is that complex that everyone is... Imposter syndrome. That shit used to, like, eat me alive. Because I'm just like, shit. Why am I here? Like, doubt every single thing I've done for the last 10 years. It's just like, yeah, no, just go back to the birds. They don't talk. Every time. Just tell myself, they don't talk back. There's no attitude there. Maybe
Yeah.
there is. But, like, they come back.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Maybe that was the reason. You knew they'd come back.
Yeah.
That was the whole. That was the end. That was the end goal. Knowing that even though he let them go, they'd come back.
Always thinking ahead. That
Always
wisdom,
thinking ahead.
age and wisdom.
Exactly. I'd never get a bird though. Hell no. No way. Mm-mm.
So when you go to London, start of the year, are you going back to South Africa
I went
at
back,
that point?
I
And
went
then,
back in. So I went March. I celebrated my birthday there. First birthday where I literally did nothing. It was such a big moment for me. I was just like, shit, I'm by myself in my room, thinking about my mistakes in life. Crazy. On my birthday, my 25th birthday. This is like an important thing. But I'm at home by myself. No alcohol, nothing. I don't have a plug. I know no one. So I'm just like, damn, like now I really need to like go harder. Like I need to buy next year this time. Like I need to have this. I need to do this. I need to, be able to come to London and like start out at least like one show.
sure.
Because like this time, like the first time it wasn't that. So like now I go back home and it feels weirder than it did before because now it's like you have a little more knowledge than you did before. You moved a little quicker than you did before because like the standards are different. Like,
Yeah.
the way things just are is different. And even now, like I know I'm gonna go back home and be like, why are you guys so slow? Let's go. Why
Yeah.
are you not doing this? Like why? And that kind of pushes you to like come back or go back and like have that as home. But like this is just my base. It's just like my like touch base. You see family, kiss the babies,
Yeah.
leave. You know what I mean? Like that's it. Like that's what it's been. Like I've only been home for like less than 6 months this year, just because like I went to Kenya, came back, went to London, came back. London 3 months, came back, was at home for like 3.5 months. Left, went to Dubai, then came here. So it's like I need to stay busy.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know. I feel like if I'm not doing that, like I can't say I'm wasting time because I mean tomorrow's not promised. So I don't know. I might die. I hope I don't. But like I want to be able to say or like know that I've done the best that I could
Yeah.
without like being lazy or like like calling myself out in those moments and catching myself like before it happens or like trying to be more like reassuring.
Sure.
So it's like it's very tricky, but it works. It's been working. Like it's healthier because I delegate tasks now. I have Gavin. I can like wake up and be like, okay, I know that the first 3 hours aren't gonna be crazy because like we already did it yesterday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like all of those little things, like knowing now that I'm here, like I need to at least have X amount of sessions. So like I'm spreading them out. Like I want to have at least 10 sessions. I know I can do 50, but that's not what we're pushing for. Because
Yeah.
it's my first time here. I want to at least meet 10 producers, 10
Sure.
new people. And the next time I come back, those 10 new people might introduce me to 10 new people.
Totally.
And then somehow that like like it then becomes like it's just a cycle of some of them might end up being my friends, some turns into family, some is just business connection.
Yeah.
Like I don't take that shit personally.
Yeah.
Like I literally have also had to learn duality. Like people can be nice to you without fucking with you, and I've learned how to do that too now. It's like I can like your music and not like you as a person because you're trash,
Yeah.
but like that's okay. It's none of my fucking business. Like literally, like that's who you are. Who am I?
Yeah.
I can't change that. So does it affect me? Shouldn't, because why are you trying to involve yourself in other shit?
Yeah.
Focus on your own. Focus on what's in front of you and appreciate that moment. Be grateful for it and proceed.
Sure.
Yeah.
So where are you at now?
In your studio! Obviously. Like, you're talking to me right now. I just dropped a single today.
Sick.
Yeah, it's doing really well.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Shit, I worked really hard on this shit. Like, getting this done was the hardest part. The contracts, getting It was hard because
What's the song called?
Only featuring World.
Cool.
Yeah, and my project drops on 11/11 frequency title. It's just my thing. 11/11 is my thing. I always drop on that day. So like just knowing that it's gonna be out and like it was like a baby, like literally like one of my first like after a long time that I started from like the songs, creating it to like meeting the features, how the features happened, like to getting to the point of like fuck, I have to now accept that I have to go home. Like this is the end of my trip. Like I don't want to go home, but
This was still in London when this was created?
yeah,
Okay.
you know what I mean. Like it's
Yeah.
just like yo, I need to go home, cause like that's where you know the people. Like that's how I'm gonna get this project out. This project's gonna change my life. Like knowing, like telling myself that this project is going to change my life. I don't know how, but we'll make that happen.
Yeah.
And in that space, Gavin, LA, getting here, dropping the project Platoon, like everything just like fell into place. Like just telling myself to trust the freaking process. We don't want to do this right now, but we have to do this right now.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna work out at some point. We don't know how, but it's going to. You know, like trusting that,
Yeah.
having faith, and like now I'm in a space where like my project's gonna drop. I'm confident. I'm happy with like every single detail. Like there's not, you know, like when you usually like when someone says like when they comment on something and you're just a little not even insecure, but like you have that one thing that you're just a little iffy about. I don't have that with this project. I'm just like I can listen to this shit like over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
And the whole time.
Yeah.
And like I don't even feel bad. I'm just like shit. Usually I'd be like fuck, okay, you can't listen to your own music. So now I'm just like fuck that. Like this is my shit.
Yeah.
I did this.
Yeah.
This is my shit.
Yeah.
You know, like that's where I'm at right now. And knowing that like it's only gonna get better from here.
I love it. So this is your second album?
No, it's an EP. It's
Okay.
my second EP ever.
Second EP. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So two
far
EPs.
there's
2 EPs,
Yeah.
1 mixtape, 1 album.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So hopefully in 2024, beginning of 2024, I want to drop another album. I
Okay.
feel like next year I have too many songs I need to get rid of.
Okay.
And I want my album to be like a full new like creation that I make here. So I want to come back like now this is obviously like my trial run.
Okay.
I don't know, like whatever songs. Some songs are freaking crazy. Like the other day I made like 3 ideas, but I didn't even think it was that good until like they validated it. I was like, oh shit, you think this is cool? This is like in 5 minutes. Shit, I should keep making music, obviously. But like, so like now I want to be more intentional about it. Like I want to have sessions, but a lot of the sessions that actually like the songs that turn into hits are the ones where you're not trying.
Yeah.
So I should stop trying.
I mean, just do what you're doing, you know? Like, as long as it's, whether it's intentional or not, you know, it's just like, it seems like what you're doing is just the right thing.
It should feel good.
Yeah.
Turn up music. I'm joking. Sing about love and heartbreak and all those shit. Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
So the EP, so are you, at this point, what's the, like, business makeup of the release for the EP? Distribution
So,
company?
Platoon. They're doing marketing internally. But we're focusing on exporting to the US and the UK because predominantly, like back home, when you're with a distribution, they focus on breaking you in that territory first.
Okay.
And I wanted the complete opposite because I was like, I can do home.
Yeah.
I need someone to do everywhere else. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
I've built contacts and like relationships with people all over the world now to the point where like when I do drop, and that's what's made this so successful is because when I went to Nigeria, I made sure that like the person that took care of me or whatever it was, regardless of what it was, I kept that connection. I did not like and now the person is like the head of like some radio plugging. So like I sent like without even, he was like, yo, send me your shit, let me plug the shit. And I was like, crazy, okay, sent it. Same with Kenya, like the guy that I met there is now like the head of Boomplay. And like he was like, yo, let's do a show in Jan. And I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. And this is like independently, it's just like the relationships that you don't know.
Sure.
Like you don't know. Like it needs like having genuine relationships with people and like they just hitting you up like, yo, dude, shit, remember that thing we did? Can you send it to me? Like I think it can get placed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, for what? I'd bet. And like not even having like the slightest like I don't even want to like I don't need anything. And they'll be like, no, you need to get like 20, 30, 40, 50, 100. I'm like, no, everyone needs to eat. Make sure
Yeah.
that the shit's split like 5 ways. Like there's songs that I did with friends, the Parent Trap friends, like where we did 3 songs, right? And like they wanted to know like how are we splitting this. I was like, it shouldn't even be math. Like even
Yeah.
if you just sat in the room and you came up with an idea, you were a part of this fucking process.
Yeah.
Let's just split the 7 ways.
Yeah.
And they were like 7 ways, and I was like, how do you guys feel about that? And it was just like, you know what? We're okay with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, great. This is how I work.
Yeah. I love that. I'm in the exact same boat.
It's like, you never know, you know?
Yeah.
And also, like, we're all doing this because this is what we want to do. It's our bread and butter, firstly. Secondly, like, it's our passion. Like,
Yeah.
don't disrespect that. Like, 3, we have to have common discipline and respect for each other's art and craft and how we do it and why you do it and when we want to do it. Like, there's
Yeah.
not force anyone to do shit when they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all of that little things matter because those little sessions, like, you remember them forever.
Yeah.
And, like, when you leave the room, like, the person, like, they remember, that's really, like, that's what's important, you know?
Yeah.
And I try to leave a really weird impression because I'm okay with that.
Beautiful. I feel like we covered a whole lot. Is there
I'm-
anything that you still feel like we need to know?
I'm Pisces.
Okay.
Yeah. My birthday is on the 3rd of March. If anyone wants to send me gifts, my address is 25. Can I give the address?
I wish we had another camera.
Birthday's on March 2nd.
I know.
How'd you know that?
I don't know what Furman said the other day, and like it related to something that happened to me. I was like, it's the way you Pisces.
That's actually wild. I didn't know that was like that.
Yeah. I'm extremely emotional. Everything has meaning to me. Like, I swear to God, sometimes people are just like, you're overthinking that. And I'm like, not. Leave me alone.
I love this. This was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had
What a
fun.
treat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to wind it down. This is really great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Aw,
Thank you.
Go listen to my project.
Yeah.
Better put the link in there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tell everybody where to listen to it.
Everywhere. Like, literally in your car. At home. I'm joking. You can find it.
Literally everywhere.
Showers, preferably, because the acoustics are great. But if you have speakers, that works too. I worked really hard at mixing this, so like paying the guy to master that shit, speakers preferably too.
Okay.
So
Got to
Yeah.
appreciate the craft.
you have to, man.
Yeah.
Damn, and when I grow up, I want to be like a crazy engineer. You guys need to teach me, please.
Yeah. Let's go listen to some stuff.
Yes,
Cool.
told you. That was easy.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.